I've got one. I want to do this one for Ed again. Ed, this one's not so hard.
Okay.
Are there any good exercises to become more extroverted in your early 20s?
Going places and trying to be extroverted. I'm a pretty introverted person in general.
Get out.
Yes, it's so like if I go to a car show and I take a picture with 1,000 people, like I then need to sit in my car alone in the quiet for a while in order to feel okay. And it's not that I don't enjoy everything that comes out of this stuff, but in a natural sense, I am not energized by it. And so, but it's obviously, it can be fun and it's very beneficial for me professionally to do extroverted things. And I have learned to enjoy it more just by doing it. It's like any exercise and any character trait or personal thing that you want to change. That I'm sure there are medications that would help, but there's also just powering through it and spending time and just realizing that whatever it is that makes it uncomfortable can usually be overcome by tactics and schemas and things you like to talk about and better ways you listen to other people to make the encounters more acceptable.
On the end, you said something that's big for me. It's just listen more. Like conversations can go a little better if you listen, if you let that person completely finish their thought. One thing that I used to do, a conversational mistake, is, you'd tell your story and then it would spawn like a similar experience that I've had, and I'd want to tell you about it. And it wasn't one-upping. It wasn't like I'm the bigger deal. It was how I related. But the effect of that would be maybe you didn't get to finish your story, or maybe you'd be like, hey, this was some me time that I really enjoyed, and now it's you time again. That kind of sucks. So
and that can be especially compounded when you're talking to someone who's not like also doing YouTube shit. So like if you're like if you told me, Woody, like, yeah, I was in a helicopter last week with an M60, I'd be like, yeah, I've done that too. That was really cool. Huh? What kind of chopper were you in? But the average person is going to be like, he's gonna be like, yeah, we went to the machine gun range last week and we paid $35. I got to shoot an MP5, like from the games. And you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. I'm pretty good friends with FPSRussia. One time I flew in a helicopter by myself though and shot a minigun at cars. That's pretty sick. Like you have ruined his day.
So in that story, it's a 1-up, but it doesn't have to be, right?
It's a 10-up.
Okay. But I would tell a 1 down, just as my way of relating to his experience, and 1 down being like his story was better than mine.
Yeah,
but
I've never seen a gun before.
Let them finish their story. Let them have their moment. Listen carefully. Be a good listener, and that's a huge part of it. And also,
so you treat them like they're a woman.
It's super easy. It's an easy, like they're enjoying the experience of telling things. All right, so that's it. And I think what Ed described is similar to me. Like I consider myself an extrovert sprinter. If you put me in an environment where I need to be an extrovert, I can kind of nail that for some period of time before I go back to my hotel room and rock in a corner and recharge.
Yeah, we know how to put on a performance. My recommendation is, if you just try to like raw dog this thing and like build the like ability to be extroverted and approach a person and have a conversation, you can have like negative results, right? Like if you used women, for example, you can get shot down hard. They always say, what's the worst you could say? And then you see those memes on the internet of like the actual worst things you can say. And sometimes it's like, ew. Like it's little disgust. And it's like, all right, well, that guy's not going to approach a woman for a decade or more now. Like he's ruined because he aimed too high right off the bat. Maybe if he was a seasoned veteran at like some lower form of being extroverted, that a woman saying ooh to him wouldn't like, that would be a crippling experience. Jesus Christ. But so like if you ever speak to kids, that's a fucking captive audience. And they think anything's cool as long as you're not an actual creep. Like if you can like speak to a group of kids about something, I don't know. I always like that. Like not.
You can even be a creep. Like those kids were stoked to go to Neverland.
Just to be clear, like we go to events where like kids show up and it's like, hey kids, how are you today? You all came here to see me, blah, blah, blah. Like that's what I'm describing. Again, this is another like YouTuber to YouTuber thing. I think if I explain this to a normal person, they'd be like, so where do I find a group of children to get alone and talk to? I just realized that's not a thing that everybody gets. Maybe like an old folks home. those people are like real hungry for human contact. You go to an old folks home and just pick like one of the ones with the scared Joe Biden face and start talking to him. He'll
What
stick with you all
side
day.
were you on in World War II? Just an ask.
The Union.
The Union. I mean, like, it's not. I mean, you guys are hitting the nail on the head. It's like any other exercise. It'd be like, I want to have a really strong bench, but I hate bench pressing. What can I do? It's like, well, you're going to have to make yourself do it. Like your social ability and extroversion, you need to go practice it. And it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. You don't need to go out there and put on a performance.
One thing
ask genuine questions about what the person is talking about. Be sincere in your interest of their topic. And people love talking about themselves. People love to hear themselves talk. You keep someone talking, you may, after the conversation, go, that person hardly knows anything about me. Guess what? In their head, they go, I met the friendliest guy. He and I really connected. We connected on XYZ. Like that's what you should do.
Yeah, to hit that back. That's what I was trying to say about listening, right? Let that guy talk. Let that guy tell his story. He's loving this interaction. He thinks you're the friendliest guy. You're paying attention to him. And on your side, as a extrovert in training, you're killing it easily. You're just listening.
Mm-hmm. And don't like, it's not fooling someone. It's not being manipulative. It's not tricky. Like you're not trying to fool them into liking you. Like be sincere and genuine. Find a way to engage them on something they're interested in and get them talking about it. And like people can tell when you're being genuine.
Well,
they can. Okay, they can't always tell, but people can tell what. Like, there's a difference between being like, "Really, you work at Steve's bank? What's up with this? What's up with that?" Versus like, "Oh, okay."
I would love.
And looking at your phone and and not engaging.
Like you should be able to feign interest in anything. Tell me you're a bank teller, Taylor.
I'm a bank teller.
Oh
Taylor.
shit! I've always wondered, like, how much money do you guys actually keep behind the counter? Because, like, if I wanted to rob you, like what would I be getting away with?
Common misconceptions. We mostly deal in human trafficking.
Is this the Wells Fargo?
Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly guns and Asian
do you know Mark
behind the desk?
Do you know Mark?
Yeah,
with the glass eye.
We call him Massacre Mark. He's a
Massacre Mark. Go! Oh man, we had a rager at his house last week. He had these Filipino boys. You must know.
Oh yeah, fresh off.
I actually have a question. It's an Ask Me Anything. We have a Patreon level. I don't know. Is it $10? I have no idea where they can.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ed. Is it a bad idea to keep fucking your ex-girlfriend who cheated on you? She's hot and it's easy pussy at this point. A very recent breakup 1 week ago, and I've already fucked her once after we broke up. Should I keep letting her call me daddy, or should I throw this bitch to the streets forever? Professional opinions, Ed? You probably get this question all the time.
Well, yeah. So I would first just say refer to the 10 times I've answered this previously. So if you want the more exhaustive answer, but I think moving on with your life is probably the answer.
False. All right, let me help, buddy. So what's happened here? So you gave your definition of what happened. Your girlfriend cheated on you, and now you want to know if you should keep fucking her. No, what happened was the nature of your relationship just changed. Now you're friends with benefits. And here's the best part. She doesn't steal, which is my biggest concern when I hook up with someone like that. You've got to watch them like a hawk or they'll steal.
It's not disease.
That can't be true.
It's absolutely true. You don't, Woody, you've been
you had a tango with syphilis to when you were getting Al Capone palms, and you're most scared by
and a little penicillin sorted that the fuck out, didn't it?
Yeah, Kyle's like, look, Woody, you've been married. You don't understand all this stealing. Kyle, you've been single. You haven't paid nearly as much as I have.
I just don't think that I think it's been a long time since a strange woman was wandering around your house naked at night, Woody.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. So what I'm just saying is, like, that's the scariest part. You got to keep your eye on them so they don't steal. But if this you used to date this girl, you can trust her. She won't steal. And no, keep fucking her. Of course, you keep fucking her. Why would you? What the alternative to not continuing to fuck this girl is saying, I'll get her. No more dick for you, bitch. Haha, I win. No more pussy for me. Shit. Like what are you doing?
I'm somewhere in the middle on this. So Kyle, I actually had that same thought. I like friends with benefits. I didn't come up with the phrasing like you did, but I was like, oh, she cheated on you, but what she did is she reassigned herself into, like, I don't know, the fuck buddy zone, right? Is what I'm thinking. The only trouble is this: if this is going to hurt your feelings, if there's just a period you have to endure where like you break up and move on, then you might want to do that rather than existing in this period of pain that exists for a long time. Like that. So that's the decision I would tell this guy to make. Hey, are you able to have a fuck buddy and enjoy this relationship?
Yeah, how does it make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
That's and frankly, that's always the most important thing, and the answer to almost any question you could fucking ask us. How does that make you feel if you continue to fuck her? If the answer is pretty fucking rad, dude, her pussy's great, then you have your answer. Why do you care what I think?
Yeah,
because she's down for it too, right? So yeah, it appears that she wants to keep having sex with lots of guys, I guess.
Yeah. Find yourself another girl, and now you've got two girls. It's great.
Ah, you did that adding.
Yeah. This is day one of my math YouTube channel.
you really over edit the series. Right. It's called like the road to wisdom or some bullshit.
It's 100% a ripoff of the Count from Sesame Street. I even do the accent. It's
one. Man, I liked him. He was one of my favorite characters.
Dude, score for you. Now you get all the things you had before and all the things you didn't have before. You won.
Yeah. If you're not sad or put off by it, just keep enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
If you are sad by it and it depresses you, distance yourself from her.
Now you don't have to pay for dinners, but you still get to have sex. What's your problem, dude?
Now you don't. He doesn't even have to go to dinner.
Wait a minute. Pause there. Friends with benefits, fuck buddies. You don't still buy dinner?
We're going Dutch. Friends with benefits?
No, usually it's more just like hanging out and then fucking.
Yeah, we're not going to dinner. First of all, we're not going to dinner. I might pay for the pizza that gets delivered. But
yeah, I mean, you'll go to dinner like if you're hungry.
DoorDash and Smash. That's the move.
I don't care for that. I also don't care for the fuck buddy thing. It sounds a little uncouth, maybe a little disrespectful to the parties involved. Right?
To who?
To any of the parties who may be involved.
I don't think
it's only disrespectful if you guys aren't in the same mind place.
No,
right?
but she has to explain to her mom that I'm her fuck buddy. That might be a little weird.
Get her involved.
Yeah. Now we've got Kyle. Now we have
just crack
two members of the family.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's it.
Your mom's like hideous. You're like, I'm glad I'm getting in before the wall.
Do you have another one? I like these.
To be scared of. The three of you, he meant Kyle, Taylor, and Ed, I'm sure, are quite wise and intelligent beyond your years. Can each of you give us your single best tip on how to succeed in life as an idiot? So how did you do it, Ed?
Well, when I was a young idiot, to me, it's always been risk. It's just the way that you approach risk. And it honestly answers the last question as well. If you're anxious about confrontation or anything, then that's where it becomes hard. But if you get rid of the anxiety because you drop the stakes and you realize that anything that goes badly can be recovered from, it allows you to take chances. It allows you to take risks and allows you to learn how to take better risks as you become less of an idiot. And I look back on a lot of the decisions that I've made and a lot of the, you'd say investments or ideas or whatever I've explored. And they were probably pretty harebrained. They were probably terrible ideas, but I made the best of whatever the outcomes were. And it was that attitude that has carried me to wherever I am. I'm not sure it's good or bad or indifferent, but if it hadn't been for managing risk, that wouldn't be the answer.
I would say always treat people the way you'd like to be treated, especially there really isn't especially, but it's also the people who you seemingly don't matter if you treat them nicely or not, like waitresses and I don't know, bellhops, people that carry your luggage, the guy at the airport throws your bag. I don't know. I don't even think it's good mojo. I don't even believe in karma. I just think that maybe that guy was going to steal some shit out of your bag, and because you slipped him $5 and told him to have a good day, he's like, that's one of the good ones. And like he winks at the other
I'll steal
Nigerian.
from the next guy.
He winks at the other Nigerian, and my bag goes in the like black people pile and doesn't get pilfered through.
Jesus Christ.
You know, like I'm hoping for that to happen. Or like you know, we talked about it the other day where that YouTuber that I watch, somebody had come in and stolen his shit, and he caught him on camera, got the police involved, and he was like, just give me the $1,400 for the cameras you damaged and no charges. And they had that $1,400, and he's like, you know what? Keep it. Keep that money. Let's just be friends. Let's be neighbors. And nobody agreed with me. I thought that was the smartest move he could make, because the alternative was putting his neighbor that already we know is like trashy enough to rob you in a position where like you got him for $1,400 he clearly needs.
Or you won me over, if I recall.
Oh, I wasn't meaning you. There was others. You know, it was a whole. There's like 25 of us in there, but everybody was like, "Yeah, they should have nailed his ass to the wall." It's like, first of all, it's like misdemeanor theft. It was like $2,000 worth of shit or something like that. Now you're gonna like send this guy to the court system. He's gonna do some community service and hate your fucking guts, and he lives right there. Now, are you ever gonna feel comfortable storing anything in your building again? No, squash it. Like I don't know. I always try to like
Squash your beefs.
yeah, squash your beefs, bury those hatchets and stuff like that, and just treat people the way you'd like to be treated. And I don't know,
Golden
that
rule.
kind of karma, I think, like leads things to kind of fall into place. I try to do that the best I can, most of the time.
Yeah.
Except with women and minorities.
Taylor, were you there to hear the question?
No,
I
I'm
know
sorry.
I think I erased it.
And
being
no
wise
Italians.
being wise and
Polish.
intelligent beyond your years, can each of you give us your single best tip on how to succeed in life as an idiot?
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
So I'll go.
Do you like
wanna
my
move?
answer now that you know the question?
Yeah, yeah.
I think my
I-
strength is
yeah.
the grind. I don't know that I'm smarter than everyone else. I don't know that I'm funnier or whatever, but getting the work done even when you don't feel like it, and I don't know, just the grind. I feel like that's why my Minecraft server was successful.
Getting the work done when you don't feel like is so fucking hard. It's
Yeah.
it's so hard that most people's strategy is to completely avoid that hurdle and only and try to do that. Like, was it Mark Twain that said, make your vocation your
Make your hobby your vocation, perhaps.
vacation. Your vocation, your
vocation.
vacation. That's
Did
it.
he
I
really
got it.
say that?
It's
Not from
make
like
your vocation.
Travelocity.
No. Fucking Mark Twain. Make your vocation your vacation. Like most people try to do that, right? They find what they're passionate about and what they love, and then they find a way to get paid doing it.
Uh-huh.
Maybe like this guy, right? Like most people. And Woody was like, I hate this, but it pays. I hate this, but it pays. like that's hard to do. That's what working out is. That's what
Yeah.
like the non-fun
Yeah.
part of working out is. Like
When you don't want to.
If
When you don't
like,
fucking
if
want
every
to.
time you felt like not working out, you just didn't, you would make no progress. Because like there are a bunch of like, there's those times where like for weeks you're just rolling and you're excited to get in the gym and like you got momentum. And then there are just as many weeks where you're like, I have to go pull a bunch of weight again. I guess so. But then by the time you're down there doing it, you feel better. And that's the way like all tasks are. Like I almost always put off my taxes until it is borderline the last second. And then I'm that guy like emailing the accountant like, this is your problem. But like just this last week, I was like, you know what? You have to do these no matter what. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and not be in a blind panic in the third week of April. And I did. And after like that first second of starting, you get re-reminded of the previous year and you're like, this isn't that bad. It's just adding stuff up. It's just adding. And then sending your sum to the guy with all your deductions and everything. And so it's, yeah, that resonated with me. Forcing yourself to do the work when you really don't want to. I have no
somebody's
idea
got a
what that
beeping
is.
noise.
I'm
It's not me.
innocent.
I think it's
Not me,
probably
Woody.
I wasn't attacking anyone. I was scared it was me. That was my actual thought process.
It's like when you know daddy's gonna be angry and he's gonna hit whoever's closest.
Yeah, no, my way of like when I feel overburdened like that, it's like, oh, I'm stressed about this. And people in my life will be like, hey, why don't you just take a break? Why don't you step away? Why don't you feel better? And it's like, no, those things don't solve my stress and anxiety.
Mhm.
You know what solves my stress and anxiety? Getting the shit done. So
Yeah.